All right. On problem number one, it's an input-output chart. So what you're going to do is you're going to graph each individual equation and see which one matches the table. So on number one, you go to y equals y equals 6 plus 5x. Go to second table. Look at the table. See 1 should match up with 12, and it doesn't happen. So you're going to go back to y equals, and you're going to graph the second one, 8 plus 4x. Second table, 112 matches, 2 and 16, it should be 2 and 17, so that does not match. And then now we're going to try the last one. 7 plus 6x. Second table. So hit second table. Doesn't match. And then so we're going to go to the last one. Y equals, clear it out, 7 plus 5x. Second table, and you notice 112, 217, 322, they all match. So our final answer is going to be D. All right, do not do 3. Do not do 3 or 4. They won't be on the final. All right, number 5. So number 5 is another type of input problem. So what this notation means is since G is on the inside, we're going to take that and we're going to plug it into F wherever there's an X. So I'm going to write down F, and everywhere there's an X, I'm going to put parentheses. And so then I'm going to take whatever G is and plug it into that set of parentheses. Okay? All right. And so when I plug it in, now I'm going to square both of them. Negative 3 squared is 9. X squared is x squared. And then the minus 4 just stays the same. So C is the correct answer. 6 you do the same way. All right, 7 is a little bit easier. It says f of negative 4, so all you're going to do is take this negative 4 and plug it in wherever there's an x at. So 2, negative 4, plus 7. So then you just do 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, plus 7. So your final answer is negative 1. All right, 8's done the same way. 9 and 10. All you're doing is combining like terms, but since it's a minus sign, change it to a plus, and every sign after it changes. So if it's positive, it becomes negative. If it's negative, it becomes positive. So 5h cubed and negative 6h cubed gives me negative h cubed. 8h and negative 6h gives me positive 2h. And negative 9 and plus 4 give me minus 5. So looking for my answer, D is the correct answer. Nope. Sorry. A is the correct answer. There we go. 10's done the same way. Number 11. Number 11, all you have to do, it says graph. So all you have to do is go to your calculator and put it into y equals negative, clear it out first, negative 4 x minus 2 raised to the third power plus 3, and then hit graph. And you're going to match which graph looks like the one on the screen here. So going here, this part out here is just extra, so that's a possibility. This one is not. Go to the next page. This one is not. and this one is not. So just by looking at the graph, we're able to get the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Number 12 is done the same way. 13. Write a polynomial function that has zeros, -3, 2, and 3. If you remember, zeros where the graph crosses the x-axis. So which graph crosses at -3, 2, and 3? This one does not. This one only crosses 2 places, so we're going to go to the next 2. This one only crosses in 2 places. This one crosses at -3, crosses again at 2, and then it crosses again at 3. So that is our answer. All right, 14 is done the same way. 15. What you're going to do is find real or imaginary solutions. If it's real, it crosses the x-axis. If it's imaginary, it does not. You don't see it. So looking at this, x to the 4th minus 41x squared plus 400. Putting that into y equals. X to the 4th. Click over, make sure we don't put it in the minus 41x squared plus 400. Hit graph, and then see where it crosses the x-axis. So it crosses the axis 4 times at 1, 2, 3, 4, -5, -4, +4, +5. So looking at my answer choices, B is the only one with 4 answers. It crossed 4 times, so it has 4 solutions. Okay. All right. 17 and 18.
What you do number 13?
17 and 18. All right, number 17. So you're going to factor top and bottom, find 2 numbers that multiply to the last, add to get the middle. So the first one, all the numbers multiply to get 2 are 1 and 2. So you're going to make 2 lists. Since it's negative, one's got to be positive, one's got to be negative. See which one adds to equal -1. This is the one, so it's going to be, I'm going to use x's, x plus 1, x minus 2. All right, then the next one, same thing, -5. All the numbers multiply to get -5, 1 and 5. That's it. So one's got to be negative, one's got to be positive. Which one adds to get -4? This pair right here. So it's going to be x plus 1, x minus 5. Remember, we're going to cancel out the ones that are the same, so the x minus 1s cancel out. It leaves us with x minus 2 over x minus 5. Both these answers are the same. This stuff right here will not be on the test. These would be different answers. So pick one. 18 is done the same way. 19. Since it's division, x squared plus 12x plus 35 all over x squared minus 25. Division, change the multiplication, and flip it. X minus 7 over x plus 5. Alright, so the first one here, we're trying to find 2 numbers and multiply to get 35, add to get 12. So I'm going to list all the factors of 35. 1 and 35, 2 and nothing, 3 and nothing, 4 and nothing, 5 and 7. So 1 and 35, 5 and 7. Since 35 is positive, they're either both going to be positive or they're both going to be negative. You're going to pick which pair adds to get 12, 5 and 7. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to rewrite the problem. X plus 5, x plus 7. I don't know where this 4 came from. Sorry about that. X plus 7. All right, so the next one, this is negative 25. There is no middle term, so it is 0. So I'm finding two numbers that multiply to get 25. And then which pair adds to get 0? So both either have to be positive or both be negative. Or I'm sorry, one's positive, one's negative. Negative 5 and 5 add to equal 0. These do not have squares, so they cannot be factored. So you're just x minus 7, x plus 7. And then you're going to cancel out anything on top. So look at x plus 5. There's an x plus 5 on top and bottom. There's an x plus 7 on top and bottom. And then you just write down what is left. X minus 7 over x minus 5. See if the answers are on the next page. They are. D is the correct answer. 20 is done the same way. All right. 21 and 22 are done the same way. They're both going to be graphing. You put this side into 1y equals, and you're going to put this side into another y equals. All right, so I'm going to take both equations and plug them in. The first one, x plus 3 over 3x into the y1. So alpha y equals x plus 1. All right, let's try that again. X plus 1 over 3x minus 3 over 4x. So get out of the fraction. Minus alpha y equals 3 over 4x. The second part after the equal sign, that goes in the y2. So alpha y equals top fraction 1 over 12. And I'm going to go to the table, second table. Now what I'm looking for is these answers right here. Which one has the same answer on the table? So when I go to 1, notice how they have negative 1/12 and 1/12. Those are not the same. They have to be the exact same. So 1 is not a possible answer. I'm going to scroll up to negative 2. 13 over 24, 1/12, also not a solution. Go down to negative 1. 3/4, 1/12, also not a solution. And then 0, let's see, I must have put it in an error. X, let's go back to y equals. X plus 3. So check my answer. It was supposed to be x plus 3, not x plus 1. Go back to the table. Check my answers again. Look here, negative 1, both 1/12. So negative 1 is the correct answer. You do 22 the same way. It's important you check and make sure you put everything in correct, because as you can see, it's pretty easy not to put it in incorrectly. All right, 23, which function matches the graph? I'm going to do 24 since all the answer choices are here. So you're literally just going to put in each one until you see which one matches the graph. So we go to y equals. And the first one, alpha y equals. It is going to be x minus 5 over x minus 4. And graph it, and you're going to look and see if it matches. So this one crosses, it looks like a 1 and 5. So look here, this one crosses at between 1 and 2 and crosses at 4, so that's not the correct answer. So then we're going to try B. it is, I think it's minus 3 over x minus 4. Perfect. I only have to change 1. And going matched, so this should be going up. Does not match, so let's try minus 4 over minus 5. Minus 4 over minus 5. Graph. Also not the same. So since it's a multiple choice test, you've done the first 3, you know it's probably going to be this last one, but might as well check it just to be sure. Graph. And if you look at it, that one is the one that matches. That is your final solution. 25, all you're doing is graphing this equation and seeing which graph matches it. Same thing for 26. Now 27 expresses a single logarithm. Remember, when you combine these, you're making them into one log. Okay? What does addition turn into? Addition turns into multiplication. These are 2 numbers, and if you notice, none of the answer choices have 7 times 75. Why? Because you can actually go ahead and multiply 7 times 75, and if you multiply those 2 together, you get 525. Okay, so A is going to be your correct answer. You're going to do 28 the same way. 29 and 30. We're solving. This is an exponential equation. So the way I would do it is I would rewrite it where like we did it in class, where the exponent, where the part with the exponent is on the left side, and then we're going to do the big L. Okay, so when I do that, I'm turning it into a log, so log 25, 1 over 125 equals, so it equals the last thing, 3x minus 2. When I type that into my calculator, math, go down to log base, 25, and then I think most of you all are used to using alpha y equals, so we'll just stick to that. Hit enter, negative 1.5, perfect. So I get negative 1.5 equals 3x minus 2. Now all you're doing is solving for x. So to get rid of a minus 2, you add 2 to both sides. So you get 0.5. So just so you all can see it, so all you're going to, there we go. So negative 1.5 plus 2 gives you 0.5 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. Now, when you do 0.5 divided by 3, if you notice the answers were all in fractions, so turn it into a fraction. Math, enter. 1/6 is your answer. They are all done the same way, or 29 and 30 are done the same way. Write the equation into logarithmic form. So, same thing, you're not solving it, you're just putting it into a log. So you're doing the big L, so log, the base is 6, then 7, 7, 7, 6, and then it's going to be equal to the last thing, equals 5. Let's see if we have an answer choice that does that, and B is correct. 32 is done the same way. Expanding, okay, we talked about this. First thing you do is division, then multiplication, and then exponents. There is no division in this problem, so we're going to break it apart into 12. This is 12 times b to the 4th, so we're going to break it apart with addition. There's no more multiplication, so then this goes away, and then it comes in front. And then, so we're looking for D. 34, expanding, you're doing the same way. 35 and 36, we just did these. The base of a log, if it's not there, is 10. So then you do the big E. 10 to the first power equals 9x plus 3. So then you have 10 to the first power is just 10. 9x plus 3. Subtract 3. Subtract 3. You get 7 equals 9x. Divide both sides by 9. And if you look, 7 over 9 is your final answer. And then I think that concludes the review. If you have any questions, you can email me, ask during class, do whatever you need to do, but that is a solution for every single type of problem that is going to be on the midterm.